So I think their fans will be relieved that Werner is off the mark.
Yeah, and I think he's relieved as well. I mean, listening to him, he seems like a confident lad, and obviously he knows what he goals, and especially with his pace, you know, he's gonna frighten defenders. So no, I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted that he's got off on the score sheet, and more to come hopefully.
The one game we haven't spoken about from yesterday, Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Raheem Sterling steadying the ship at the Etihad after a poor couple of results as far as Manchester City are concerned. Will Arsenal be a bit disappointed that they didn't lay more of a glove on Manchester City in terms of creating chances?
I think there will be. You know, they're playing against a Manchester City side. I don't think De Bruyne played. You know, and he's a big player for them. So, you know, when you look at it, you just think maybe we should have gone for it more, because it was quite comfortable for Manchester City in the end.
How do you assess Manchester City at the moment? Because at this stage, it looks like it's almost going to be a season of transition for Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, when you look at it, they've missed. Obviously, David Silva's gone, and I think it is Foden is making his way into the team. It is one of them where. And again, you look at the back line, has he got a settled central partnership? So yeah, as you say, I think it is a bit of a transition, but he's got to do it on the job where they're hopefully transition and winning games.
Let's turn our attentions to some of this afternoon's action. Then we've got Crystal Palace against Brighton, a fierce rivalry down there at Selhurst Park. That kicks off at 2 o'clock in the company of Andrew Self and Paul Mortimer, the former Palace player. Leicester against Aston Villa is a 7:15 kickoff UK time. Tom Rennie and Danny Gabardon will be calling the action there. At 4:30, it's a London derby. Tottenham, with Gareth Bale fit and available, host rejuvenated at West Ham United. 4:30, the kickoff with Joe Shannon and David Connolly. We can hear now from the Spurs manager, Jose Mourinho, who is asking the Premier League to look after their clubs more.
The biggest football in the world, which is the football that we play in this country, has to be, I'd say, resynced. Of course, yes, but of course has to be good for everybody and not just for a certain elite.
He's talking there, Jose Mourinho, about so-called Project Big Picture, Rufus, which was dead in the water almost before it began. That was a plan cooked up primarily by the chief executives at Manchester United and Liverpool, and also the chairman of the EFL, Rick Parry, as well, basically giving £250 million to be distributed amongst EFL clubs. In return, the Premier League would be reduced to 18 teams, with 24 teams in the 3 EFL leagues, and perhaps most crucially of all, the current voting rules would change, almost handing power to the Big Six. It was never going to happen, was it? Never in a million years.
I mean, what they were proposing, it was never going to happen, and quite rightly, it's just been literally blown out the water. It's you know, it's unbelievable that was even spoken about.
And so say all of us. OK, let's hear from the two managers ahead of kick-off then at a grey and dreary Bramall Lane, really, I suppose, echoing the mood of both Sheffield United and Fulham. Here are the two gaffers, Scott Parker and Chris Wilder.
A lot of good players, kept the majority of their players that were in the Premier League, added to them. Had a good group before that. You know, we played against them twice when they got promoted in the playoffs, our first season back in the Championship, and an incredible game at Bramall Lane, and a pretty comfortable one for them down at Craven Cottage in the second part of the season, but not the start that Scott and his team would have wanted, of course, not the start that myself and my team would have wanted. But, you know, there's plenty of games to play, and they've got a manager who was hugely successful last season, and a lot of very, very talented players. And they'll be looking for their first result of the season just as much as we are.
Yeah, big game for us, you know, just exactly the same as Sheffield United. Big game for both teams. But what game isn't? Every game's going to be big for us this year. And of course, maybe an extra bit on it, the fact that both teams have not got any points on the board as of yet. So yeah, of course, understand that. But every game's going to be big for us this year, and the one come the weekend's going to be no different to that. As always, we'll prepare and go into that game to try and win it, really. So a tough game ahead, yes, for sure, but one which we're looking forward to.
They understand every game's an opportunity, which it has been so far this season. Every game that we've played is an opportunity to pick pick up points, and unfortunately we haven't. So I think one of the things that you do look at is when you are with the players and in amongst them is what their attitude's like, what's their body language like, and it's been super positive as far as I'm concerned. They're looking forward to the next game.
Yeah, big game for us, just exactly the same as Sheffield United. Big game for both teams, but what game isn't? Every game's going to be big for us this year, and of course maybe an extra bit on it, the fact that both teams have not got any points on the board as of yet. So yeah, of course understand that, but every game's going to be big for us this year, and the one come the weekend is going to be no different to that. As always, we'll prepare and go into that game to try and win it, really. So a tough game ahead, yes, for sure, but one which we're looking forward to.
Chris Wilder and Scott Parker there looking ahead to Sheffield United against Fulham. Kick-off on the way very shortly. These players are just about to make their way onto the pitch. Rufus Brevitt, a very quick score prediction from you?
I think it's going to be difficult. Both teams are looking for the result, but I'm going Fulham. I think Fulham will nick it 2-1.
Wow, okay. I don't think too many people will be predicting an away win this afternoon, but home victories have been in short supply in the Premier League so far this season, so maybe a shrewd call there from our co-commentator. Stay with us, kick-off 5 minutes away. You are listening to Premier League Live.
As darkness sweeps around the globe at 8 p.m. on the 18th of November, 25,000 people worldwide will pull their running shoes on to hit the road for a virtual 5 or 10k at Run in the Dark. I'm Mark Pollock, and by joining us to Run in the Dark this November, you'll be supporting the Mark Pollock Trust and our charity partner Collaborative Cures, whose mission it is to cure paralysis in our lifetime. Register now at runinthedark.org and get your medal, your flashing armband, and your Run in the Dark virtual timing app. Thank you.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the Ford Transit Custom from €290 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford Lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost to standard rate. Price quoted for Transit Custom base with no maintenance over 4 years with 3 monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Marion Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Go! This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Grant has been providing reliable, efficient and affordable home heating technology for over 40 years. From the award-winning Grant Vortex condensing oil boiler to the highly efficient Arona heat pump, you can trust Grant to heat your home. Think heating, think Grant. Visit grant.eu.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport Disinfectant Treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Fulham from Bramall Lane. I'm your host, Alex Crook. Alongside me is the former West Ham, QPR and Fulham defender, Rufus Brevitt. This is Premier League Live. Well, Sheffield United were one of the success stories of last season, achieving their highest ever Premier League finish in their first campaign following promotion from the Championship. The signs are already there that this year could be very different for Chris Wilder's men, yet to pick up a single point from their first 4 matches of the season. A hangover that started in truth post-lockdown. It's 7 successive Premier League defeats in total. A record that Wilder will be desperate to avoid adding to against a Fulham side who found it tough going themselves following their rise from the second tier. They too have lost each of their first 4 games. Never in their history have they lost 5 in a row at the start of the season. The 2 sets of players are lined up ready for kick-off under drizzly skies in South Yorkshire. This city famously is forged in steel. Both teams are going to need to show that steel and that courage and determination to get their season off and running here this afternoon. The first of 4 live games coming your way. Palace against Brighton follows hot on the heels of the full-time whistle here. Then Tottenham West Ham at 4:30. And the day rounded off with Leicester at home to Aston Villa. As the 2 managers exchange a handshake, clearly mutual respect between Messrs Wilder and Parker. They will both be acutely aware of exactly what is at stake here this afternoon as the players and coaching staff take a knee, a sign of solidarity towards racial discrimination and prejudice before kick-off. And we are off and underway here at Bramall Lane. It is Sheffield United in the red and white stripes, black shorts and red socks, shooting from right to left in the first half. Fulham in their all-change strip of all yellow, attacking the goal away to our right. Both teams have made notable changes from their last Premier League lineup. For Sheffield United, it was a 2-1 defeat against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. 3 alterations for them. Max Lowe comes in at the back, Oliver Norwood in midfield, and Ollie McBurney joins David McGoldrick up front. Burke, Robinson and Osborne all make way. So it's Ramsdale in goal, Lowe, Egan and Basham in defence. Bulldog, Lundstrom, Berg, Norwood and Stevens make up a 5-man midfield with McGoldrick and McBurney leading the attack. 2 debutants for Fulham in the form of Tosin Adarabioyo, the England under-19 defender signed from Manchester City on deadline day, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who arrived on loan from Chelsea. Ademola Lookman also makes his first full Premier League appearance for the club. So it's Areola in goal, Aina, Adarabioyo, Ream and Robinson in defence, Kearney and Ongiza in front of them, Caballero, Loftus-Cheek and Lookman behind Alexandra Mitrovic up front. We played 2 minutes and already Sheffield United have a player down injured. Fulham seem to be ignoring that and playing on anyway. The referee has now blown. It's an off-the-ball incident, I think, on this near touchline, and Max Lowe, Rufus, is the player down. Yeah, holding his head. Yeah, he was. I think it was a clash with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think he more ran into him, and Loftus-Cheek just stood his ground. Don't think there was much in it with Loftus-Cheek, and he's just ran into him. Cheeks just stood his ground, and he's bounced off and he's come off worse. I'm sure he'll be okay. Probably just a bit winded. Max Lowe signed on a big money deal from Derby County in the Championship over the course of the summer. Is down receiving treatment, so an early stop in play here. Yeah, it looks like his mouth might be cut, but he's on the ground now, getting a bit of treatment from the medical staff. They have had issues this season, Sheffield United, in terms of naming a settled back line. I mentioned in the build-up to the game that Jack O'Connell is out for the foreseeable future with a knee injury. They lost John Egan after he was sent off on the first day of the season against Aston Villa, and it looks here maybe that Max Lowe is struggling. Yeah, I mean, and if you look at last season, that was their strength. The back line being knowing who to choose, and you could choose the back line. This season they've had a few chops and changes. Scott Parker just taking a drink from the water bottle. He was relegated as a player with Fulham back in 2014. I'm sure we'll be keen to avoid repeating that scenario as a manager, having led them back into the top flight last season via the Championship playoffs. Looks like Lowe will be okay to continue, but it just disrupts any kind of early momentum, Rufus. The game hasn't really had time to find its stride as yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, both teams looking to get on the ball. But you look at Sheffield United, they'll be looking to test this Fulham back line early doors.
Is this a must-win as far as Chris Wilder is concerned, when you look at the fact they're on a run of 7 straight defeats in the Premier League, and Fulham are a team shipping goals for fun at the start of the season?
I think it's a good time to play Fulham. I think if you look at the way that they have been shipping goals, Chris Wilder would have looked at it and thought, this is a game that we really should win. And in doing so, you look at Fulham again, you look at them, they haven't won a game yet, they'll be looking to do the same as well. So, interesting game this afternoon.
Big news from Brighton Hove Albion. They've completed the signing of striker Danny Welbeck. Of course, the former Manchester United, Arsenal and Watford forward, available on a free transfer, having had his contract at Vicarage Road torn up by mutual consent. He signed a 1-year deal, Rufus, with the Seagulls.
Well, I think if you can keep him fit, and I think that's been his problem throughout his career, really, whether you can keep him fit, and if you can, you've got a good player there.
Yeah, 42 caps for England, 16 goals for his country. Danny Welbeck, twice a Premier League title winner. Signed too late to make his debut in that game that we're about to bring you at 2 o'clock, Palace against Brighton at Selhurst Park. But a bit of pre-match news involving the visitors there. Here at Bramall Lane, we played 6 minutes. It remains goalless between Sheffield United and Fulham, and the ball is played back to Aaron Ramsdale in the Sheffield United goal. Fulham seeing plenty of it in the early exchanges. Kearney, the captain, rolls it out to the right-hand side, and coming forward is Aina. Doesn't look like a side rooted to the foot of the Premier League table, Fulham, the way they're passing the ball around.
No, they don't. They're moving the ball around really well, and Adebayo, the centre half who's come in, looks very comfortable on the ball, as you'd expect coming from Manchester City.
There's on Giza, again sweeps it out to the right-hand side, and the white-booted Ola Aina, the former Chelsea player. Aina into the centre circle, and it's going to be Kearney to switch over to the left-hand side. It's a good ball as well. Robinson surging forward, keeps it in play down by the corner flag. Forward it goes to Alexander Mitrovic, his first touch of the afternoon. He wins his team a throw. Good start from Fulham.
It's a great start from Fulham, seeing a lot of the ball and attacking the Sheffield United back line.
Kearney might get a shot off here. He plays it into the penalty area instead, looking, I think, for Cavallero, and it comes to the effort in the end from Kearney, and it's a sprawling save towards the top left-hand corner from Aaron Ramsdale. That was a shot that packed plenty of punch, and Ramsdale does well to turn it behind.
Yeah, it was. It came to him literally about 10 seconds before that, and you thought, is he going to have a go? He decided to play it out wide to Cavallero. It comes back to him, and it's about 20 yards out, and it's a good shot. It's a good strike out inside of his foot, curling away from Ramsdale, but it's a good save from the Sheffield United goalkeeper.
He's only scored 2 Premier League goals, Tom Kearney, 9 years between them. It wasn't too far away from breaking the deadlock here in South Yorkshire. 7 minutes played. It's a corner for Fulham, all in yellow, and it will be Kearney to deliver this one into the penalty area. Left-footed towards the near post. Ramsdale thought about coming, stayed on his line. It's half cleared, only as far as Ademola Lookman. Lookman trying to dance into space on the edge of the penalty area, stopped in his tracks by Lundstrom, and Sheffield United clear it out for a Fulham throw. Scott Parker, suited and booted as ever, one of the most stylish managers in the Premier League, will be absolutely delighted with what he's seen so far.
This start is brilliant from Fulham. They're keeping the ball. You know, when they get in the final third, they're looking to do things. They've got Lookman, who's looking to take his man on every time he gets the ball. It's a good start from Fulham.
Aina plays it into the Sheffield United half once more. It's Norwood who wins it back inside the centre circle, and then chipped up in the air by John Egan, like a golfer shanking his tee shot. I can relate to that. And it's picked up now by Ongiza, midway inside Fulham territory. 8 minutes played, 0-0 the score. Here's Kearney, who's already tested the reactions of Aaron Ramsdale in the Sheffield United goal.
Sheffield United just can't get hold of the ball at the minute. They're just chasing Fulham all over the place, and it's good possession from Fulham and good movement off the ball as well.
Aina goes back into the penalty area. The tall toss in Adebayo. It's won back by Ollie McBurney, the Scotland striker. Sheffield United now will try and build with Norwood just inside his own half, away to our right. Here is Bulldog now, looking to come forward down the right-hand side. He was closed down quickly by Lookman. It's back now inside the Sheffield United half. Breaking ball forward is from Ender Stevens. Connected by McBurney, 10 yards outside the Fulham penalty area. This is better as far as the home side are concerned. Lundstrom with a shot, but it's tipped over the crossbar by Areola, the goalkeeper. Left-footed effort from 22 yards.
Good play from Sheffield United. They had a period of possession there where they just moved the ball about. It got played into Lundstrom, who had a good touch, and it was a good strike on goal, but it was comfortable for the Fulham goalkeeper to tip it over the bar.
Areola, on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, was part of the French World Cup winning squad back in 2018, so plenty of experience in the Fulham goal. He's going to get plenty of time to test his prowess this season as well. In comes the corner towards the far post. Away was the shout from Areola. The Fulham defence responding kind, but it's one back by Sheffield United down their left-hand side with Norwood. Here's McGoldrick trying to turn on the edge of the area. Stevens with a low ball in, looking for McBurney. Good defending by Advertisements. Slides in and diverts it behind for another Sheffield United corner. First concerted spell of pressure from the Blades.
Yeah, it is, and again, good comfortable play. McGoldrick gets the ball out there, plays that wide, and it's a good ball in. I think it was Egan that played the ball in, and it was a good defending from Fulham.
And again, they've defended well in the early exchanges, Fulham. It's not always been the way, has it?
No, it hasn't.
In comes the cross, they're looking for McBurney with a header. Inches away from giving Sheffield United the lead. It was Bulldog who drove the cross into the penalty area. It was a glancing header from Ollie McBurney, just wide of the far post, and that all came from Kearney giving the ball away sloppily in midfield.
Yeah, it was sloppy play in midfield from the Fulham captain. Well, that's what Sheffield United do. They get the ball out wide. They try and get players into the box. And if the quality's there, then they'll always have a chance. And McBurney, who we've seen is very good in the air, just steered his header wide of the post.
The goal kick will be taken by Areola. Right footed into the Sheffield sky. There's good distance on that. Kearney wins the header. Or Mitrovic, I should say. And here now is Ademola Lookman, who strokes it out to the left-hand side for Fulham. Intercepted by Norwood, and he goes all the way back to the edge of the penalty area in John Egan. And it's Aaron Ramsdale, the former Bournemouth man, who clears upfield into Fulham territory. Collected by Adebayo. Played for Manchester City's under-18s when he was just 14 years of age, the central defender. So clearly a player that's been identified for some time as having a bright future in the game.
He started the game really well today. He really has.
Did sign Joachim Andersen, a Danish defender, but he's picked up a serious knee injury in training. So bad news for Scott Parker. That was why they didn't allow Michael Hector to go out on loan on Friday, when the cut-off was for transactions between Premier League and EFL clubs. Here is Ollie McBurney with the socks rolled halfway down his ankles. Tries to exchange passes on the left-hand side. Sanderberg. It's one back by Fulham again. Here, over the halfway line, is Ademola Lookman. Sliding tackle, wins it back for Sheffield United. Sanderberg now with a chance to drive at the Fulham penalty area. McBurney's made a run in the centre. It's only half away, and it's steered goalwards in the end by Chris Basham, of all people. Once again, not too far wide.
Well, that was a chance. It came out to him. It was a cross on this right-hand side. Good defending from Fulham. Didn't quite clear their lines. And it comes to Basham, he's got a player closing him down, but he had a time and space to maybe hit the target there. But he's pulled it again wide of the post.
Let off for Fulham, and for all their bright and industrious play in these first 13 minutes, it's Sheffield United who have carved the two best chances.
Well, Sheffield United have definitely come back into it. You know, it was a slow start from them, but they're certainly certainly coming back into the game now.
It was that overlapping run from the central defenders that Chris Wilder wants his team to deploy there that saw Basham in space inside the penalty area. I suppose the negative to that tactic is that sometimes the chances fall to players that you wouldn't necessarily back to stick the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's right. You've got you've got one of your centre-halves, 10 yards out with a shot that you obviously want your striker in that position.
14 minutes played, 0-0 the score. Fulham have a good recent record in this fixture, lost only 2 of their last 10 meetings against Sheffield United, won the last 3 of those.
I think the last one was a 5-4, wasn't it, in the Premier League?
I think similar this afternoon, wouldn't we? Not sure there will be 9 goals, but I could be wrong. Here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek running at purpose towards the halfway line. Lorena, 2 former Chelsea teammates combining, and he's giving it back to Loftus-Cheek deep inside the Sheffield United half of the field. Aina plays it down the line then to Ivan Caballero, who have had 60% possession as Kearney crosses into the area, but calmly chested back to his goalkeeper by Buildup. Aaron Ramsdale in the all-purple goalkeeping outfit will play this forward for Sheffield United.
Good calm defending there from Baldock as it was driven into the box. Just calmly just chested it down to the goalkeeper, who picked it up and has fired it forward.
Here's Kearney now, midway inside the Fulham half of the field. Doesn't quite look right, does it, watching a Fulham team all in yellow. Here's Kearney. Goes back to Advertisements just inside the D on the edge of the penalty area. Sheffield United content to let Fulham play the ball around inside their own half, keeping their shape well. Here is Tim Ream, the American international. He's played it forward, looking for Ademola Lookman, who will always take the opportunity to have a run at defenders. Here's Loftus-Cheek, who shoots from fully 25 yards, and it was tame and straight into the arms of Ramsdale in the end.
Yeah, it was good positive play from Fulham. Again, when Lookman gets the ball, he's always looking to drive Fulham forward, plays it across the pitch to Loftus-Cheek, who's must be 30 yards out, has a shot, doesn't quite get hold of it, and it just trickles to the goalkeeper.
Long ball forward from Ramsdale, headed clear by Ream, who now is on Giza, snapping away in midfield for Fulham. Lookman has got away from Norwood. Clever little drop of the shoulder, and Cavallero's made an excellent run to his right. Loftus-Cheek rolls it forward to Ivan Caballero inside the Sheffield United penalty area. Lays it off for Loftus-Cheek just on the edge of the box, and Sheffield United have got plenty of men back now. I wonder if Fulham maybe could have moved the ball a bit quicker from left to right. Here's Kearney. Little back heel from Ademola Lookman. And then Kearney from on the floor has won a header, but he's been stamped on, not deliberately. And then a sliding tackle from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's going to be a free kick in the end for Sheffield United.
Yeah, and if you look at Fulham there, as you say, they probably had a chance there to move the ball a little bit quicker. And once you just dwell on the ball, you're gonna lose that pass.
Well, Max Lowe once again has stayed down following that challenge from Loftus-Cheek. He's been in the wars, the former Derby man. And the referee Andre Mariner just coming over to check how his treatment is going.
He certainly has been in the wars, hasn't he? He's again, I think he just took a knock on, is it his ankle? I'm not too sure what.
Looks in some pain, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and it'd be a shame if he has to come off with all the injury woes they've got at the minute.
Doesn't look particularly like he's going to be able to continue. I wonder if he looks a bit dazed as well.
He does. Whether he got another bang on the head, because that's 2 that he's had. Maybe he looks a bit dazed. He's getting up to his feet now.
Chris Wilder looking pensive on the touchline, the Sheffield United manager.
Ooh.
Looking for his 100th Sheffield United victory. It's his 201st game in charge.
Yeah, and I think it was a clash of heads there with Lowe. He looks a little bit dazed as he's just walking off the pitch.
I wonder if he might have a bit of concussion here, in which case he will have to come off, Max Lowe. Chris Wilder just giving him a pat on the back that suggests maybe his afternoon is over.
I think it is, yep.
So more defensive issues, another defensive headache literally as far as Sheffield United are concerned, and Jack Robinson, one of the players to make way from that defeat against Arsenal, is going to come on here perhaps earlier than he anticipated. Disappointing end to the afternoon for Max Lowe. 0-0 the score, 19 minutes played here. Don't forget at 2 o'clock, Crystal Palace against Brighton. Brighton in the last 20 minutes or so announcing the signing of Danny Welbeck, the former Manchester United and England striker. And then at 4:30 at Spurs against West Ham, followed at 7:15 by a bit of a Midlands derby involving Leicester and Aston Villa. And 2 more matches tomorrow night. The football coming thick and fast as the Premier League returns here on Premier League Live. At 5:30 it's West Brom Burnley, and at 8 o'clock Leeds United against Wolves. That should be a really entertaining battle between Messrs Bielsa and Nuno Espirito Santo.
And Robinson's coming, he's just slotted in on this left hand side.
Yeah, it's a like for like replacement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here now is Loftus-Cheek, who's seen plenty of the ball early on his Fulham debut, and he's played it forward to Mitrovic, gets it back. Loftus-Cheek inside the penalty area. Strong play from him to hold off 2 challenges, and in the end Ongiza's shot is charged down. Already he looks like he's going to have a big impact, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, on this Fulham side. Yeah,
he's getting onto the ball, he's seeing a lot of ball, and Lookman as well, seeing a lot of the ball, driving forward. And you just saw the strength of Mitrovic there, where he's come into him, he's holding 2 players off, and just to keep possession of the ball in the final third for Fulham.
Adebayo plays it back to Areola, the Fulham goalkeeper, away to our left. In turn guides it out to Olerain in the right back. Now Tim Ream wearing the Alice band, the number 13 for Fulham in the white boots, plays it back to Areola, and again swept upfield left-footed. Fulham continuing to have the lion's share of possession, but just the one real chance so far, the long-range effort from Kearney, forcing a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, the England under-21 goalkeeper. Here is Kearney again. Back he goes inside the centre circle to Adebayo. Tim Ream steps confidently into the Sheffield United half, and Loftus-Cheek then with a little back heel to Ongiza, but he's given it away to John Lundstram, and maybe Sheffield United can counter here. As he pushed in the back there by Ongiza, I think that should be a yellow card really. Referee Andre Mariner has reached for the pocket. It's the first booking in the afternoon. Ongiza having clumsily given the ball away, even trying to atone for the error, just pushed his man to the ground.
Lundstram's done really well there, because he's picked the ball up and he's driving forward. He's gone across the Fulham midfield player, so all he can do is bring him down. So it was good play from the Sheffield United midfield player.
We've reached the midway point of the first half at Bramall Lane. 0-0 the score, but a free kick here for Sheffield United. Fulham have been susceptible to conceding from set pieces so far in this Premier League season, and it was a dangerous delivery headed back to the goalkeeper Areola by Aina in the end.
We know that Norwood has got good ability from dead ball positions, and it was a decent ball in there that there was Aina that just got his head to it and got it back to the goalkeeper.
Areola has the ball at his feet once more, chips it out to this right hand side to Aina. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0 here on Premier League Live. Kearney infield for Ongiza. I mean, good game, Tom Kearney, the Fulham skipper. Now Ream makes his way towards halfway, out to the left hand side, and Ademola Lookman. Oh, lovely turn from Lookman to get away from Sanderberg once more. Twists one way and then the other, but it's cleared upfield in the end by Norwood. McGoldrick trying to roll it forward to Lundstram, and this attack has got a bit of purpose about it. Here into the penalty area comes Ender Stevens. He drills it low towards the bottom corner. Comfortable save in the end for Areola. Just wonder if he could have looked up there and maybe try to play McBurney, the left wing back for Sheffield United.
Yeah, he just caught them out there on the counter there. And as you see him on this left-hand side again, he's very, very wide. He's decided to hit it low and hard across the goalkeeper. But as you say, McBurney was in the middle, but he decided to go for the shot.
He doesn't get too many goals, Ender Stevens, in the Premier League, and that would be a perfect attempt to beat Areola from that acute angle. Here is Areola playing it to Adebayo on the edge of the area. Loftus-Cheek into the stride of Aina. It's a good ball forward that Mitrovic should really have controlled. He showed too much of it to Chris Basham, and it's back now with Ramsdale, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I was just a minute ago talking about, the Fulham striker, that he holds ball up really well, and that was a time where really, if he had controlled it and held the ball up, he would have probably created a chance for Fulham.
Sanderberg out to the right-hand side, where Bulldog takes over, tries to play it down the line to Basham again. He made that overlapping run, but the ball was slightly too heavy. It's going to be a throw-in for Fulham, back towards their own 18-yard box, but they have been pretty confident playing out from the back so far this afternoon. This time it's Areola who goes long upfield, and a foul by Mitrovic on Basham. A free kick now for Sheffield United, which Bulldog thought about taking quickly. Lookman made sure that wasn't on the menu, and it will be Ollie Norwood in the blue boots to take the responsibility. Just plays it low into the centre circle, where it will be played forward down this left-hand side to Ender Stevens. Robinson, the early replacement for the injured Lowe. Asked John Egan to tiptoe forward over halfway. Sheffield United beginning to see more of the ball after Fulham's early dominance in terms of possession. And here now is Ender Stevens on halfway once more for the home team. 0-0 the score.
Yeah, Sheffield United just having a period of pressure now where they're just holding on to the ball and having good possession, moving Fulham around. Fulham chasing hard to get possession of the ball.
Lundstrom into McBurney. It's going to be Norwood who plays it out to the right-hand side. It's intercepted, and Fulham have got plenty of bodies forward here. I think Lookman is still down, but Mitrovic plays on. Looking for Kearney. Pass was behind the Fulham skipper, and it will be cleared away with Ademola Lookman still down, holding his leg inside the centre circle. But Fulham didn't play the ball out, so no real obligation on Sheffield United to do so. McGoldrick.
That's right, and I think Fulham are saying to kick the ball out, but as you say, when they were on the attack, they didn't kick the ball out. So, Sheffield United had every right to keep playing.
And then McGoldrick does kick the ball out, and Lookman, wouldn't you know it, probably gets back to his feet. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he should have just carried on playing McGoldrick. But again, all the Fulham players were shouting at him to kick the ball out.
He was caught by the start of Norwood, not in the initial tackle, but on the follow-through. Norwood trying to apologise, I think, to Ademola Lookman, who isn't particularly keen to accept that apology.
He's not too happy about that. As you say, he got the ball, but it was the follow-through that caught him in the calf area.
Wasn't quite as bad as the follow-through from Harry Maguire for England in midweek, but could go down as dangerous play. No doubt VAR would have been looking at that. Not the best weekend for the technology again with that disallowed goal in the Merseyside derby. They've decided at Stockley Park that there is no need to take any further action against Oliver Norwood, the Northern Ireland player. 0-0 here then at Bramall Lane with 19 first half minutes remaining. McGoldrick strokes it down the line, looking for Ender Stevens for Sheffield United, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Big canvases of the Sheffield United emblem behind that goal. We're on the march is one of the slogans. Of course, clubs have gone to great efforts to decorate their stadiums, try and cover up the hordes of empty seats. There were some games in the EFL yesterday where spectators were allowed into the stadium to watch on TV. Go figure that out.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Here now is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, stretching those long legs and racing into the Sheffield United half. Loftus-Cheek, who's had a nightmare spell with injury, only played 9 games last season for Chelsea because of an ongoing Achilles problem. Did start the campaign as a regular in Frank Lampard's first 11 this time around, but with all the attacking players that Lampard has signed, he was deemed surplus to requirements.
And hopefully he can, be injury-free and start enjoying his football, because he's a fantastic player.
A really good loan spell, didn't he, at Crystal Palace a season or two ago. Here is Ademola Lookman, who seems to have made a miracle recovery from that injury that saw him down inside the centre circle for a good minute or so. It's amazing the healing power when your team are in possession as opposed to when the opposition have the ball.
He had a little look up and then saw that he's kicked the ball out and then got up.
Here now he's on Giza, pirouetting away from Ollie Norwood, who is a midfielder of the combative variety, I think it's fair to say. Here now is Caballero, and he's giving it away, looking for Kearney, one back by McBurney inside the centre circle after a bit of a wrestling match between the two. And here now down the right hand side comes Sander Berg. He's taking on Kearney. Couldn't let it go out for a corner, but he keeps it in play on the touchline. Basham's cross, McBurney's header. Oh, brilliant save from Areola. But maybe Ollie McBurney from 4 yards out should have buried that one.
Well, he's got to score, hasn't he? He's got to score. He's right on the 6 yard line as it comes across. And I don't think he got the best connection of it. But even so, he's got to score. The goalkeeper stood up straight. It was right at him. But what a chance for Sheffield United to take the lead.
Yeah, it was an instinctive save from Areola, but Ollie McBurney carries the look of a man who knows he should have put Sheffield United in front there. A header from point blank range.
And it's like what I said earlier, Sheffield United, they do get the ball out wide and like to get balls into the box with good quality, which is what they did there.
That's why for all of Fulham's possession, Sheffield United maybe still look the more likely team to open the scoring. Here is David McGoldrick, who has found goals in the Premier League hard to come by. Here's the score of Sheffield United's only league goal this season, though, in that defeat against Arsenal. Also got their only cup goal. David McGoldrick. Here is Norwood, stroking it forward to Sander Berg, and he's got space here to run towards the area. McBurney ahead of him. Berg might shoot from distance, does so. Straight into the midriff of Areola.
Yeah, and again, it's good play, and it's Ollie Norwood there that just played a little ball back, got into space, played it into Berg, who he's driving forward, and the Fulham defenders just backed off. He got to about 20 yards, decided to have the shot, but again, it was a comfortable save from Areola.
Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. 15 minutes of the first half remaining. Here is Kearney turning deep inside his own half, plays it out to the left, and Ream, who will come forward again. One of the survivors from Fulham's last disastrous spell in the Premier League. And they had more managers than points at one stage that season.
And that was a disaster, wasn't it, for Fulham the last time they were up.
Here now is Adarabayo, signed in the final hours of the transfer window from Manchester City. They were busy, Fulham, on deadline day. As Lookman comes in field for Tom Kearney. I wonder how long Chris Wilder will leave it before he introduces Rhian Brewster, the record signing for Sheffield United from Liverpool. I suppose it's one of those, Rufus, where he's probably got an idea even before the game of when he wants to bring him off the bench.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if there's no injuries, but I'm sure, you know, he's thinking, right, we'll give him half an hour, 35 minutes. You know, we might even see him at half time, you know.
Lorena being put under pressure by David McGoldrick. Lorena in the end forced to concede the throw. Sure, Rhian Brewster will be sat on the bench believing that had he have been on the end of the chance that McBurney didn't take, he would have buried it.
Well, he's a goal scorer. You know, he knows where the goal is. And I think Sheffield United has bought a proven goal scorer.
Proven in the Championship, though.
In the Championship, yes.
Yet still to cut it in the Premier League, but clearly they believe he can do that. Yeah. In comes a long throw all right the way across the Fulham 6 yard box, and in the end they have just about enough yellow shirts back there to clear the danger. They're living a dangerous life, Fulham, defensively just at the moment. And here on the right hand side is Sander Berg in space again, and plenty in the centre. Berg with a low cross blocked by Ream, and it will be cleared in the end by Ademola Lookman, and maybe it's Fulham's turn to launch a quick counter-attack. Loftus-Cheek leading the charge, and he's got Caballero bursting forward on the overlap, crosses into the area, didn't reach Mitrovic. Basham saw to that, and Sheffield United have it back now with Ender Stevens.
Yeah, it's a little bit end-to-end at the minute, and Berg there is, when it was out wide there on that right-hand side, he had a lot of time and space to try and pick someone out, and he'd be disappointed that he didn't.
Here's Ender Stevens, left corner of the penalty area. Gets it back from Lundstrom, but the offside flag was up, and it will be a free kick for Fulham. Kept a good line there, the Cottagers.
Yeah, it was a good, as you say, it was a good line. But as you see, Berg there is, you know, I think he's got to pick someone out.
There's only been one 0-0 draw in 67 meetings between these two. That was back in 1965. If we watch a replay of the chance that McBurney headed straight at Areola, the goalkeeper for Fulham. McBurney, who scored 6 goals last season, should be off and running for this campaign. Here, down the right-hand side, is George Baldock. Plays the low ball to Sanderberg, who's in space inside the penalty area. Sanderberg trying to switch on his left foot and plays it out to the edge of the box, and the cross is over the head of Lundstrom in the end. Now McGoldrick in the left wing position, again waiting for the overlapping run from the defenders, and he got it from Stevens. Clever pass. McBurney again tries to guide it into the corner, and it's wide once more. Chris Wilder can't believe that Sheffield United aren't in front.
Well, again, they're getting into some really, really good positions, Sheffield United, especially out wide. And he's waiting. He's just waiting for the overlap run. And he's played it in. It's McBurney at the near post. Again, just flicks it across the goalkeeper and wide.
Basham so close to getting on the end of it.
They're certainly knocking on the door, aren't they, Sheffield United?
Chris Wilder just turns his back in frustration, but I think secretly he'll be pleased with the last 10 minutes or so after a nervy opening for the home side.
Yeah, I'll be delighted with the way that they've responded to the first 10 minutes. You know, definitely on top, creating chances.
Loftus-Cheek looking to release Cavallero. Loftus-Cheek has had a good opening 35 minutes, but he couldn't find Cavallero on this occasion. Here's Lundstrom to clear forward. And then there was a grappling match just inside the Fulham half. Adarabayo and McBurney, who wants a free kick. It wasn't given, and it's collected by Tim Ream on the edge of the Fulham penalty area away to our left.
Yeah, good decision from the referee there. I think both of them were at it, and McBurney went to the floor looking for the free kick, but the referee was right on it and saw what happened and just said play on.
Bramall Lane has been a venue where Sheffield United have dished out plenty of capital punishment in recent months. You have to go back, actually, in recent years, I should say. Chelsea, would you believe, in 2006, the last London club to avoid defeat here in the Premier League. It's an incredible statistic. Here's Tim Ream playing it forward. One back by Sanderberg, and he is taken down, or he feels he is anyway, by Ademola Lookman. Again, the referee, Andre Mariner, tries to play on. It was Olorena looking for the run of Loftus-Cheek, but Sheffield United defend it well. With John Egan, who's one of the central defenders that tends to sit deep, while the other two make their lung-busting runs forward. Here now is Ollie Norwood deep inside Sheffield United territory. 9 minutes of the first half remain. 0-0 the score on Premier League Live. Beginning the team news in around about 25 minutes from our second of 4 live commentaries this afternoon. It's Crystal Palace against Brighton at Selhurst Park. Always a match with plenty of feist, back to the days of Alan Mullery and Terry Venables. Here's Sanderberg, 25 yards out, rolls it to the right-hand side of Baldock. Burnley just trying to check his run because he was in offside position. It's played out to Norwood instead, and Sanderberg in space. There should be a tap in for Lundstrom, and it's an own goal on his debut from Tosin Adarabayo. Well, was the flag up?
I don't think the flag was up, because he held his run. Has he put the flag up?
I think the goal has been chalked out for offside. Adarabayo, a relieved man. We're watching a replay now. Sanderberg, he's tight. Cavallero just stepping out at the last moment. I mean, in fairness to Adarabayo, if he didn't put it in his own net, then Lundstrom would have done.
Yes.
VAR are taking a look at this. The famous blue line has been drawn and the goal has been disallowed.
It has, but it was good play from Sheffield United. Again, he just went a lit that touch early. But again, if the Fulham centre-half hadn't have put it in his goal, then McBurney was there to do so. But it was offside, still 0-0.
Where they're struggling at the moment, Sheffield United, or Fulham I should say, is these overlapping runs, not necessarily from the central defenders, but from the two wing-backs getting in space.
Yeah, I mean, in wide areas, they're getting balls, and they've got a bit of quality as well when they get out there, getting balls into the box, and it's on both sides. They're getting in behind Fulham.
7 minutes of the first half still to play. It's Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Sheffield United have lost their first 4 games of a top-flight season once before. That was back in 1966. Well, they went on to finish 10th on the table. Chris Wilder has been speaking the build-up to this game actually about the fact there is no need to panic at this very embryonic stage of the campaign. Panic here if Fulham can make use of a free kick at a promising position. It's going to be Cavalier, I think, to curl this one into the penalty area, although Tom Kearney stands with his arm raised as well. It is Kearney, left-footed. And it's towards Ruben Loftus-Cheek at the far post. That was a really important intervention in the end from Basham, who, having initially lost sight of the ball, managed to stick out a leg and hook it clear. Yeah, as it's gone over Basham, he didn't quite know where Loftus-Cheek was, and his control let him down on his chest. Gave Basham a chance just to nick back in front and get the ball back. Watching again the offside. It's his right boot that is literally just beyond the yellow-shirted Fulham defence, Sanderberg. On this occasion, VAR made the correct call. Lookman there dispossessing McBurney high up the field. Lookman forced back towards halfway. And just lays it off for Tom Kearney, and here's Olorena now inside the Sheffield United half to our right. 0-0 the score with 5.5 minutes remaining. Fulham in familiar territory in the bottom 3. The last time they were not in the relegation zone as a Premier League club was back in October of 2018. Here is Ademola Lookman trying a couple of step-overs over on the far side. We've got plenty of yellow shirts forward in this attack. On Giza rolls it down the line for Ademola Lookman. And on Giza into the feet of Tom Kearney. Kearney again, I think, thought about the shot. Instead he tees up Loftus-Cheek on the edge of the area. This is on Giza, 10 yards outside the penalty box. Sheffield United with everybody in red and white back behind the ball, but he's still going here on Giza. He's taken 2 Sheffield United players out of the game, and then he's been scythed down, and it's a free kick here within shooting range. Initially it was good play from Sheffield United, just shuffling across, blocking the spaces, but Anguissa just knocked the ball in between two Sheffield United players, and then he's been brought down right on the edge of the box, and it's a good situation for Fulham. Tom Kearney, who's already forced a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, might just fancy this one. Mitrovic is standing over the ball as well. Aaron Ramsdale hugging his near post, just trying to organise his wall. Looks like Mitrovic might let one fly here. Looks like he certainly fancies it. He doesn't see much of the ball, does he, actually? The lone striker for Fulham. There are 5 men in the Sheffield United wall. Aaron Ramsdale's now taken up a more central position on the goal line. It is Mitrovic low, under the wall, and into the arms of a grateful Ramsdale. It was a good strike, caught it nice and clean, but as you say, it was straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Good positioning from Aaron Ramsdale. I know who has his sights set on a place in England's Euro 2021 squad. Of course, plenty of competition for that coveted number 1 spot. Here is McGoldrick into the penalty area, trying to cut it back. And it's well defended by Fulham and cleared away by Tim Ream. Giza tries to pluck it from the Sheffield sky, does well. He's back now with Robinson in the left back position, who plays it forward. And it's going to be out for a Sheffield United throw, much to Anthony Robinson's frustration. He's had an interesting career, almost joined AC Milan at one stage, was on the plane to the San Siro when that deal was called off on deadline day back in January. Finally completing a summer move from Wigan to Bramall Lane. Both clubs play with red in their shirts. I think that's probably where the similarities end. Not too many people have made the trip from Wigan to Milan. That would have been a moving off, that. Here is Oliver Norwood inside the centre circle with minutes ticking by now towards half-time. John Lundstrom and has played it forward. Lundstrom, who had a good goal-scoring season last year, occupying a more defensive role in that Sheffield United midfield this afternoon. Here he is looking for Stevens down the left-hand side. Norwood now, as Sheffield United dictate the pace of the game towards the end of the first half. It wasn't the case for the first quarter of the match. Fulham were much the better team.
Yep, they were, and they took their time to find their rhythm. Sheffield United, to get the overlapping fullbacks going forward, but they're certainly doing that now.
Robinson forward to Lookman. That was a strong challenge from Chris Basham. Wins it back, and here's Sander Berg sprinting down the right hand side, cutting the cross back over the head of McGoldrick. He's going to go out for a throw in the end, but he has been a good outlet, Sander Berg. Put plenty of delivery into the penalty area. That one was just slightly too heavy.
Yeah, he has. He's a strong runner, gets in really good positions, but again, the cross there was just too much on it. He tried to just chip it to the back stick, too much on it, and it's gone over McGoldrick's head.
Into the final 30 seconds of the standard 45 minutes. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Don't forget, coming up at 2 o'clock, Crystal Palace against Brighton. Live from Selhurst Park as Ademola Lookman again tries to come forward, and he was fouled by McBurney. It's going to be a free kick right on the halfway line for Fulham. Maybe the last attack of the first half. It's taken short by Ongiza to Reed. Here is Ongiza. Forward he goes to Loftus-Cheek. Fulham ending the first half as they started it in possession. Here is Ollerance at the end of this first half for one of these two teams to take a precious lead into the interval. David McGoldrick has just had his heels clipped by Ongiza, so it's going to be a free kick, but well inside the Sheffield United half. Fulham have made the worst start to any of their 15 Premier League seasons with those 4 successive defeats. And in truth, not too many reasons to be positive so far in the matches they've played. Made a fist of it in the second half at Leeds after gifting them an early lead. They were well beaten at home by Arsenal on the first day. Here is McGoldrick. He's onside inside the penalty area. Tries to cut it back. He's behind Lundstrom and cleared away by Tom Kearney.
McGoldrick got in there and he tried to just pull it back.
Sander Berg now getting to the byline once again. He's, I think, been penalised for a foul on Kearney. There's a good bit of shielding from Tom Kearney, just making sure that Sander Berg couldn't get the cross into the area.
Yeah, he just spotted the danger there, Kearney, and just got across Berg.
There was a little shove in the back, wasn't there?
Yeah, and he's just gone over, and it's quite rightly a free kick. But McGoldrick there getting in there. And again, he did think about having the shot, but the Fulham defender just closed him down, pulled it back, and again, it was behind the oncoming Sheffield United striker, and it went to a Fulham defender who cleared his lines.
You can see why they've spent so much money on Rhian Brewster, because neither David McGoldrick or Ollie McBurney look like they're going to score tons of goals in the Premier League, do they?
That's right. And you know, even last season they were chipping in with goals all over the team. You know, whereas you look at Fulham, they do rely on Mitrovic to get their goals, and maybe Brewster is the man to come in and score 10-15 goals for the season.
They were pretty clinical last season, Sheffield United. They had the fewest goal attempts of any team in the Premier League, but still achieved their highest ever points tally in the competition and their best ever finish. I think that was thanks largely to their defensive solidity. 13 clean sheets, only 39 goals conceded in their 38 games.
Yeah, you've always got a chance if you're rock solid at the back, which they have been.
Ramsdale punts it forward one last time in this first half as the floodlights shine around Bramall Lane. McBurney heads it into the Fulham area. McGoldrick off balance as he slips. And there goes the half-time whistle. Nothing to separate these two at the bottom of the Premier League table. Little between them in the first half. Fulham starting the brighter. Tom Kearney with a long-range shot, expertly kept out by Aaron Ramsdale. But the best chance of the game, undoubtedly a header from Ollie McBurney from point-blank range. Couldn't squeezed the ball beyond Alfonso Areola in the Fulham goal. And at half-time at Bramall Lane, it is Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. You are listening to Premier League Live.
As darkness sweeps around the globe at 8 p.m. on the 18th of November, 25,000 people worldwide will pull their running shoes on to hit the road for a virtual 5 or 10k at Run in the Dark. I'm Mark Pollock, and by joining us to Run in the Dark this November, you'll be supporting the Mark Pollock Trust and our charity partner Collaborative Cures, whose mission it is to cure paralysis in our lifetime. Register now at runinthedark.org and get your medal, your flashing armband, and your Run in the Dark virtual timing app. Thank you.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the Ford Transit Custom from €290 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford Lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost to standard rate. Price quoted for Transit Custom Base with no maintenance over 4 years with 3 monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Merriam Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Go! This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Grant has been providing reliable, efficient and affordable home heating technology for over 40 years. From the award-winning Grant Vortex condensing oil boiler to the highly efficient Grant, visit grant.eu.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
Welcome back to Bramall Lane. 1965, the last time Sheffield United and Fulham played out a 0-0 draw. Yeah, he might get a shot off here. He plays it into the penalty area instead. Looking, I think, for Caballero, and it comes the effort in the end from Kearney, and it's a sprawling save towards the top left-hand corner from Aaron Ramsdale. That was a shot that packed plenty of punch, and Ramsdale does well to turn it behind.
And it's about 20 yards out, and it's a good shot. It's a good strike. Out inside of his foot, curling away from Ramsdale, but it's a good save from the Sheffield United goalkeeper.
Basham's cross, McBurney's header. Oh, brilliant save from Areola. But maybe Ollie McBurney from 4 yards out should have buried that one.
I don't think he got the best connection of it. But even so, he's got to score. The goalkeeper stood up straight. It was right at him.
It's played out to Norwood instead, and Sanderberg in space. There should be a tap in for Lundstrom, and it's an own goal on his debut from Tosin Adarabioyo. VAR are taking a look at this. The famous blue line has been drawn, and the goal has been disallowed.
It was good play from Sheffield United. Again, he just went and lit that touch early. But again, if the Fulham centre-half hadn't have put it in his goal, then McBurney was there to do so. But it was offside, still 0-0.
Well, as Rufus Brevet articulated there, still goalless between Sheffield United and Fulham. Not as drab, Rufus, as the scoreline suggests. There have been chances, and Ollie McBurney probably will still be running that header over his head in the dressing room at half-time.
Yeah, I think he will be. And if you look at as the balls come in, he's headed it onto his shoulder, which takes the pace off it. And again, The goalkeeper's there, stood up straight. He's straight at him, but he's got to score. He's got to score.
Yeah, so Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Rhian Brewster has been the talk of the town. A surprise maybe that he didn't go straight into the starting lineup. Will Chris Wilder be tempted to chuck him in at half-time?
I think he will be. I think, if he doesn't come in at half-time, I don't think it will be too long before he appears onto the pitch, because, you can see why they've not scored that many goals. They need someone up there that can score goals, and they're struggling for goals at the minute.
And in terms of Fulham, there have been some bright spots. I think all of the three players in behind Mitrovic have done quite well, actually. Cavallero, Loftus-Cheek, who's seen plenty of the ball, and Lookman, who's been lively as well, but they haven't got enough service into their number 9, have they?
No, and that's the thing. And you're playing with a lone striker up there. You've got to give him service and get balls into him, for him to bring players in. They've not really done that. The three playing behind them have looked very lively, but the service into Mitrovic has not really been there.
Well, this is the first of 4 commentaries over the course of the afternoon on Premier League Live. Still to come, Tottenham against West Ham. That's a 4:30 kickoff with Joe Shannon and David Connolly. At 7:15, Tom Rennie and Danny Gabardon will be calling the action between Leicester and Aston Villa. And in around about an hour's time, we'll be off to Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace against Brighton, the fabled M23 derby. Let's hear from Roy Hodgson, who has been praising the excellent job that Graham Potter has done as Brighton manager.
I actually have a very high opinion about Brighton and the job that Graham Potter has done there. I think they're a very good team. I've seen them lose a couple of games in recent months where they've actually been very, very good and have, fully deserved to win, but have come out on the losing side. So we're preparing for a very, very good Brighton team, and I don't myself identify an incredible defensive weakness. We think that they are good both going forward and defending, but if they're kind enough to have got it into their heads that they need to concede 3 goals every game, we'll take it.
That's Roy Hodgson, probably alienating himself to every Crystal Palace fans by saying nice things about Brighton. Doesn't go down particularly well, does it? But I think he's right. I mean, eyebrows were raised when Chris Hughton was ruthlessly dismissed by Brighton a couple of seasons ago. Great to see him back and off to a winning start in the Championship at Nottingham Forest yesterday. Graham Potter, has he transformed them that much? Because the points return isn't actually much more impressive.
No, it's not. But when he first came in, he's changed the style a little bit. They're more pleasing on the eye. But no, when you look at the points total, there's not much difference in there, is there? But again, it's a massive game this for them. And we'll just see what we can do.
Is that the modern way now, that the fans are not content just to see their team win matches? They want to see them win with a certain swagger and a certain style.
Well, I think when you come in as a manager, you want to change the style and you want a bit of everything. You can't always get everything. You want to be pleasing on the eye and also get the points. But I'm sure we're in a results business. I'm sure that fans will look at it and think, well, they want to win games.
I covered transfer deadline day for TalkSport. There wasn't a single mention of Wilfried Zaha going anywhere. Are you surprised that he didn't have more suitors than he did over the course of the summer, and how big a boost is it for Crystal Palace that he remains at Selhurst Park?
I'm very surprised, but he's Crystal Palace. He's left Crystal Palace once and come back, and he's a fantastic player, and it just seems as though he's a Crystal Palace player. When you look at Wilfried Zaha, he's Crystal Palace, and he's not sulked. He's getting on with the job and playing really well at the minute.
Brighton announcing the signing of Danny Welbeck a couple of hours ago, or an hour or so ago. Can't play today. Probably offering him big money. I think he was on a 6-figure salary at Watford. Is that a gamble, given his recent injury record?
Well, it is. Anything. It's always a gamble when you bring in strikers in. But again, like I've said, if he stays fit, they have got a player there if he stays fit, and that's the massive thing, if he stays fit, because he's had a lot of injury problems.
How do you see that game going? Because Brighton have played well so far this season, particularly against Manchester United at home, when they could have been 5 up and ended up losing the game.
I think when you look at it, I mean, both teams can win the game, but I think it'll be a draw. I'm sitting on the fence.
I was going to say, let's get that freshly painted fence for you. Okay, well, we'll have the team news very shortly from Selhurst Park, as you've been hearing there. It's Palace against Brighton, one of the more unusual grudge matches in the Premier League. That's followed by Spurs against West Ham, a more historical rivalry perhaps in London, and Leicester against Aston Villa, rounding off this Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow evening, West Brom against Burnley at 5:30. That's followed by Leeds against Wolves at 8 o'clock. Half-time at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United being held to a goalless draw at home by Fulham. How long? Until Rhian Brewster is called upon by Chris Wilder. You'll find out very shortly. This is Premier League Live.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the Ford Transit Custom from €290 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford Lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost a standard rate. Price quoted for Transit Custom Base with no maintenance over 4 years with 3 monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Merriam Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
No! This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
I was never good at spelling. I could read just fine, but I would be afraid if anybody asked me to do anything involving spelling. But since doing the course, all that has changed. I am braver. In fact, I feel braver than ever now. You know, you're never too old to learn. Never.
If reading, writing, maths or technology is holding you back, take the first step. Free phone 1-800-2020-65 or text LEARN to 550 to see how we can help. This free and confidential service is supported by your local ETB, Solis and Nala.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Fulham from Bramall Lane. I'm your host, Alex Crook. Alongside me is the former West Ham QPR and Fulham defender Rufus Brevitt. This is Premier League Live, where the two sets of players have just re-entered the arena. The Fulham side just going through some sprints at the start of this second half to get their legs warmed up. It's all very different, Rufus, from when you were plying your trade in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's right. They've come out, they're doing the exercises to try and start the game really quick in the second half. In my day, we'll just trundle out and let's get going.
Chris Wilder keeping an eagle eye on his Sheffield United players. No immediate sign of any changes from him. Just having a final pep talk with the Blade skipper John Egan. Of course, Sheffield United did have to make one early change after Max Lowe hobbled off to be replaced by Jack Robinson. Means they will begin the second half with Ramsdale in goal, Robinson, Egan and Basham in defence, Baldock Lundstrom, Berg, Norwood and Stevens in midfield, and then David McGoldrick and Ollie McBurney's missed a couple of really good chances up front. For Fulham, Areola in goal, Aina Adarabayo, who thought he scored a first half own goal only to be reprieved by offside, Ream and Robinson in defence, Kearney and Ongiza in front of them, Caballero, Loftus-Cheek and Lookman behind the starved of service, Alexander Mitrovic up front. We are off and running in the second half. Sheffield United in their red and white jerseys, black shorts and red socks, shooting from left to right. Fulham all in yellow, attacking the goal away to our left. The two subs benches for you, by the way, in terms of outfield players. Sheffield United have Billy Sharp, Oliver Burke, Ethan Ampadu, Ben Osborne and Rian Brewster. The record signing for Fulham, it's Neeskens Cabano, Bobby Decordova-Reid, Mario Lemina, Maxime Le Marchand, Joe Bryan and AK-47 Abubakar Kamara. 50 seconds gone in the second half. It's Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. First of 4 live commentaries across the afternoon on Premier League Live. The team news is in for the M23 derby that follows us. It's Palace against Brighton. 4 changes for the Eagles from the side hammered by Chelsea. Gary Cahill coming back into the side. Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlupp and Mishi Batshuayi also start. Out go Sacco, McCarthy, Eze and Ayew. For Brighton, 2 changes from their 4-2 defeat against Everton. Dan Burn and Adam Lallana are the players coming into the team, with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Danny Welbeck, having completed a free transfer, wasn't signed in time to make the bench. That's the team news from our second commentary. You were having a little chuckle, Rufus, while I was reading that.
Oh, McBurney again, the ball's come across and he's 7 yards out, heads it straight at the goalkeeper again. I don't know whether there was an offside flag there.
I think there was, yeah.
Right. But even so, he's 7 yards out and heads it straight at the goalkeeper.
Is he the most likely one to be replaced, or the fact that he's getting himself into a position to score chances, maybe McGoldrick might be sacrificed for Brewster instead?
Well, he's getting himself into positions, to goal scoring positions, which is always a good thing. Hopefully one of them will go in, whereas McGoldrick is working hard off the ball, hasn't really had a clear sight at goal yet.
I told a bit of a lie there, actually. I said he's getting himself, McBurney, into positions to score chances. He's getting himself in position to miss chances, isn't he? Was the more factually correct
That's
assessment
what you should have
situation.
Said, yes, yeah. But he's definitely getting himself into positions.
Well, we've played 2.5 minutes in the second half, still no goals. Fulham have lost 18 of their last 22 matches in the Premier League. In fact, their last point away from home in the top flight was at Cardiff back in April of 2019. Here is McBurney. And now it's Norwood who strokes it forward to Lundstrom. McGoldrick in the left wing position. Aina sliding in and just diverts the ball towards his own byline. It's cleared out of play by Adarabayo. He's had a decent enough debut, I should say, the centre-back.
He has. He's looked very comfortable, getting across there, just spotting the danger, clearing his lines. But it looks as though he talks as well. He looks like a talker. He's pulling people about. So he can be happy with the first 48 minutes of his debut.
Just checking my screen and looking at the list of things that are trending on Twitter. Danny Welbeck amongst them, having signed for Brighton as the long throw is launched into the Fulham penalty area, easily dealt with by Areola. McBurney is also trending, and so too is Rian Brewster. So putting 2 and 2 together, I think the Sheffield United fans are calling for that change to be made imminently. Let us know your views. At TalkSport Live is the Twitter address. Send us pictures of where in the world you are tuning in. And as Ollie McBurney again makes his way into the penalty area and was wrestled to the floor by Aina. It was outside the box, but it will be a free kick in a dangerous position as far as Sheffield United are concerned.
Yeah, he's just come inside Aina there, and he's just it's McBurney. He's just grabbing hold of him, and he's lit just outside the box. And it was again, the referee was right on top of it, and it's give a free kick.
Yeah, McBurney taking up a position inside the 6-yard box. The referee just applying the magic spray inside the Fulham penalty area. Oliver Norwood, as always, will take the free kick. It's a yard outside the edge of the penalty area, over on the left side of the field as we look. At the moment, George Baldock has made a good run and is totally unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. Sander Berg also, if he just wants to tee it up to Sander Berg, he might get a free shot on goal. At the moment, Norwood only has eyes on the inside of the area, and he curls it towards the far post, and it's easily cleared away by Ungeisa. I think I'd have been tempted just to roll it into the feet of Sander Berg there. Berg it is who recycles possession back out to the right-hand side. The two fullbacks, Ender Stevens and Buildup, combining on this near touchline. McGoldrick lays it into the feet of Norwood. Fulham with every outfield player back behind the ball now. Here is Norwood again, trying to pick his way through. Finds Stevens, but he's dispossessed by the long-legged Adebayo, and Fulham now maybe with a chance to counter-attack. Haven't got too many yellow shirts forward. Lookman turns away from Lundstrom and then rolls it into the feet of Kearney inside the centre circle. Here is Loftus-Cheek out to the right-hand side, and Cavallero. Mitrovic the target on the edge of the 6-yard box. When Ramsdale flapped at it and then made a really good save as Ademola Lookman just tried to stab in the rebound. He's gone down, Lookman, but Ramsdale, having made the mistake initially, gets himself out of trouble.
Well, he does. As the ball came over, you know, you thought he was just going to catch it, but he flapped at it and then it dropped quite kindly to Lookman. And the Sheffield United goalkeeper got up and he's made an unbelievable save again. You know, so he's kept the score at 0-0.
Just lost sight of the cross, Ramsdale, but he did really well, Superman style, to make himself big and block the follow-up attempt from Ademola Lookman. It's the first time, really, though, they've put anything like an inviting cross into the area, the type of which Mitrovic loves to attack. Lookman is down receiving treatment.
Yeah, it really was a atoned for his error. Really was a fantastic second save, and I'm sure Lookman thought, you know, he's just got to get this on target, and he was going to put Fulham in the lead. But Ramsdale made a fantastic save.
Yeah, Ramsdale just making sure that Lookman is going to be okay, having been caught on the follow-through from the big goalkeeper. £18.5 million Sheffield United paid to re-sign him from AFC Bournemouth. He was actually sold by Chris Wilder on his wedding day, first time around, for just £1 million. I remember speaking to Chris Wilder about that after Sheffield United's very first game in the Premier League at Bournemouth on the opening day of last season. He said, Aaron Ramsdale, make sure that I never forget to send an anniversary card. I'm not sure that Aaron Ramsdale should be the main thing on his mind when he thinks back to his nuptials. Looks like Lookman will be okay to continue, just holding his right hip, but sprints back onto the pitch and play will restart. 0-0 the score between Sheffield United and Fulham. It's been a much better defensive displays from Fulham after conceding 3 or more goals in 4 of their 7 matches in League and Cup this season.
Yeah, they have looked very good, well, better defensively, Fulham.
I don't think we've had a 0-0 in the Premier League yet this season, by the way, Rufus.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Just me and you to get the first one then.
It's a long throw here, still plenty of time. Let's not be so pessimistic. It's a long throw that Sheffield United are going to take with Jack Robinson. Again, it straightens the arms of Areola, and he bowls it out quickly, looking for the pace of Lookman. Could be away here, Ademola Lookman on the left-hand side. It was a great throw from the goalkeeper. Needs a bit of support now. Got Robinson offering that on the overlap. Comes infield instead, and again a teasing cross into the area. Give a Loftus-Cheek this time, but it's cushioned back to the goalkeeper Ramsdale by Chris Basham.
It was a really good distribution from the Fulham goalkeeper there to set Lookman on the way. As he's driving forward, Fulham were just trying to keep up with Lookman, but also Sheffield United got bodies behind the ball as well.
Ademola Lookman, who burst onto the scene as a teenager for Everton, scored inside 4 minutes of his Premier League debut against Manchester City. Didn't manage to cement a regular place in the team at Goodison Park. Went out on loan to RB Leipzig, did well enough that they signed him permanently, but he barely played at all last season in the Bundesliga before linking up with Fulham on loan. But he's clearly a player with bags of ability, and here he is again on the ball. Mitrovic to his left. He's managed to squeeze the pass through for Mitrovic. Holds it up for Ungeisa. Ungeisa into the penalty area. Might think about the shot here, trying to drag it back along the 6-yard line, and it's, in the end, cleared behind by Jack Robinson.
And Guiza there, I think he's got into the box, and I'm thinking he's got to just hit it low and hard across the goalkeeper, and I think he tried to pull it across, and it just got cut out by Is it Robinson there that just cut it out, and he's gone for a Fulham corner? But I thought he should have just had a chance and just hit it across the goalkeeper and see what happened.
2 corners apiece now, 0-0 the score, with 56 minutes played, and it's going to be Cavallero to take the corner. Right-footed delivery, and it was headed down by Loftus-Cheek. A big shout for handball, and the referee says penalty. Wow. Well, he took his time there, Andre Mariner, before pointing for the spot. It was a loud handball shout from Fulham.
Well, as the ball came over, yes.
Well, the arm was up, wasn't it, at the near post? It was that man Robinson jumping with the left arm in the air. Did he make contact with the ball? It's really close, actually. Loftus-Cheek, did he head it onto the arm?
Well, his arm shouldn't be up there anyway. And
no, but did he pull it away just in time?
I think he touched it first.
Against Aaron Ramsdale, the Bournemouth goalkeeper, a massive moment early in the season for both these struggling sides. Mitrovic, who's got a couple of goals in the Premier League already this season, with a chance to give Fulham a precious lead at Bramall Lane. Ramsdale clapping his hands together. Mitrovic stands hands on hips, ready to take this penalty. We haven't seen too many missed penalties in the Premier League so far. Here is Mitrovic, right-footed over the bar! And Sheffield United have a reprieve. What a miss from Alexander Mitrovic.
Dived the wrong way, and he's just put too much on it. He's leant back and it's hit the bar and gone over. But, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Aaron Ramsdale punches the air in jubilation, but as Rufus has already articulated, he dived the wrong way, would have been nowhere near it, but Mitrovic just tried to lift it into the top corner and he smashed it against the crossbar and behind. What a chance for Fulham. And what a let-off for Jack Robinson, the Sheffield United defender who leapt arm in the sky. And they have changed the interpretation of the handball rules slightly, the PGMOL, but any time that your hand is above the shoulder and it makes contact with the ball, that will be a penalty. That isn't going to change.
I think it was the right decision. I really do. I think it was the right decision. But again, it's when you're down there, you want a bit of, well, if anyone you want on the ball, it's Mitrovic in that position.
Here's Lookman. Fulham determined not to feel sorry for themselves and continue to attack here. In the past, Tom Kearney's been their regular penalty taker, hasn't he, in the Championship?
He has taken some, but Mitrovic obviously fancied his...
Well, he scored one from the spot against Leeds, I recall.
Yes, he did, yes.
Didn't look like scoring that one. Echoes of Chris Waddle in Italia 90.
He just
smashed it over the bar.
Yeah, he just leant back and hit the bar and go over.
The reason I said just before he ran up, we haven't seen too many missed penalties in the Premier League this season. I think, and I'm intrigued to get your view on this, Rufus, I think it's easier now to take a penalty because of the behind closed door scenario. You haven't got the baying fans behind the goal trying to put you off.
Completely agree. You've got, can you imagine behind the goal, all the supporters screaming at you as you're running up to the ball. Now, there's definitely not that much pressure on you.
Baldock takes the throw for Sheffield United. He gets it back from Sander Berg, but lets it roll under his studs and out for a Fulham throw. With 59 minutes played, 0-0 the score, but a big moment. The penalty hammered against the top of the crossbar and over by Alexander Mitrovic.
Yeah, and he'll be absolutely kicking himself for that, especially as the goalkeeper would have been literally nowhere near it.
Robinson with a long throw for Fulham. Down this left-hand side, Lookman, who's been a real handful in the second half, is again trying to make a purposeful run down the left touchline, but he was grabbing the shirt of Chris Basham. It's going to be a free kick for Sheffield United, who haven't really got going since half-time. It's a similar pattern, actually, to the start of the first half when Fulham were dominant. Then Sheffield United slowly grew into the game and had their own spurned opportunity for Ollie McBurney with a header that was saved.
Yeah, it's just like the first half. Fulham have started the second half more lively, and especially Lookman, like I've said, every time he gets the ball, he's looking to drive forward.
McGoldrick with a volley, left-footed. always hanging in the air and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, McGoldrick there, what is he? 25 yards out, he's just turned on it.
It's good technique.
Yeah, it is good technique, onto his left side. And it's just gone over the bar.
Did you take many penalties, Rufus, over the course of your career?
I took one for Fulham in a penalty shootout away at Rochdale, and I scored one for Doncaster.
Did you score the one for Fulham as well?
I did, yes.
So you have a 100% record from the spot?
I have, yes.
Well, Mitrovic definitely doesn't. Much to Chris Wilder's relief. He's deep in conversation with Alan Neil and other members of the Sheffield United backroom staff. They must be contemplating changes now. Here is Ongiza for Fulham. We've had the better of the early exchanges of this second half, but thanks to that missed penalty, haven't been able to turn that dominance into goals thus far. Ball is all the way back with Areola inside the 6-yard box of Fulham, and he's just cleared it out of touch for a Sheffield United throw. No real rhythm about Sheffield United's play since the interval. Here's Norwood trying to change that in the blue boots. Rolls it out to the right-hand side, and Basham is well forward again. Buildup down the line to Sander Berg. Trying to get to the byline. Cuts back onto his left foot, Sander Berg. Still being checked all the way by Tim Ream, but Sheffield United still have it. Norwood now plays it down the line. Little back heel from Basham. Cleared away by Anthony Robinson, the left-back for Fulham. But to play the throw into the penalty area to McBurney. Sander Berg now. Right corner of the 18-yard box. Tried to poke it forward. It's clear. And here comes Ongiza, bursting it into attack mode for Fulham. They've got 4 against 2 here. Chance maybe for Loftus-Cheek in the centre. It was Cavallero who tried to cut the cross back, and it was really well defended by Jack Robinson because they were heavily outnumbered there, Sheffield United.
It was good defending, but again, Fulham, another chance there on the break. And it's 4 against 2. And as Anguissa, as he's played it out wide there to Cavallero, he just couldn't miss Robinson out, who stuck his boot out, and it's gone out for a corner. But again, another good opportunity for Fulham there on the break.
Third corner of the game for the team from West London. Ivan Cavallero once again is going to place the ball down, and there are half a dozen yellow shirts to aim at inside that Sheffield United penalty area. I'm sure that Jack Robinson's going to keep his arms down on this occasion. It's the header over the bar from Adebayo up from the back.
Yeah, he got up quite well there. And he's a bit angry with himself. I think he's kicking himself, thinking he should have done better. But he was put off by the Sheffield United centre-half as he rose up to win the ball.
I'm going to watch a replay of the Mitrovic penalty. It doesn't make pleasant watching for the Serbian. He was rising all the time from the moment he struck it right-footed. And here comes the change that Sheffield United fans have been asking for. Rhian Brewster, the record buy from Liverpool, is on for his Premier League debut. Replaces David McGoldrick. Scored plenty of goals in the Championship on loan at Swansea last season, Rhian Brewster, but this is a significant step up.
And McGoldrick, who's gone off, he's worked tirelessly. He really has worked hard. But again, he hasn't really had any chances in front of goal. But you can't really fault his work rate.
Rhian Brewster wearing number 24. Liverpool did insist on a buyback clause. A player that Jurgen Klopp clearly believes has a bright future in the game. Just couldn't promise in the minutes that he wanted this season. Actually had a decent pre-season campaign for the champions. Let's see what he can bring to pep up the powder puff Sheffield United attack for the final 25 minutes or so. 0-0 the score. After we're finished here, we'll have full commentary from Palace against Brighton at Selhurst Park. That's followed by Tottenham, West Ham and Leicester Villa. Plenty of live football coming your way between now and this evening. First touch for Brewster is midway inside his own half, but he managed to find Lundstrom, who comes forward over the halfway line. Keeps the ball, and it's dinked forward by Norwood. McBurney not quite on the same wavelength, and it's all the way through for Alfonso Areola, the Frenchman, in goal for Fulham. And he bowls it out to Aina down the right-hand side. 0-0 it remains. Geezer, who's had a good game at the heart of the Fulham midfield, coming forward again. Goes back to Tom Kearney, the Craven Cottage captain. Here is Tim Ream now just inside his own half. Lookman coming deep into Geezer again, who's managed to shield the ball under pressure from McBurney. Here is Ola Aina, the diminutive fullback. Lookman exchanging passes with Caballero, who tries to turn, and he's stopped in his tracks, and this is Ollie McBurney looking for Brewster. First time layoff. Ender Stevens into the penalty area, cuts it back towards Brewster. He's crying out there for a better ball, and Brewster would have had a clean strike at goal, but it was just smuggled clear.
Yeah, and it was good run again down this left-hand side, getting into good areas again. It's that final ball that's letting them down at times, Sheffield United.
Here's Kearney for Fulham. Suddenly the game is wide open. Lookman on the left-hand side. Anthony Robinson bursting forward in support. Kearney into the penalty area, tries to pull it back, and it should be cleared away. In the end, it was by Robinson. Another good Fulham breakaway move.
Yeah, they're catching them on the break every time, Fulham, every time they come forward. And again, it's Lookman who plays a lovely ball just inside the box. And Kearney had a little look across, saw Mitrovic there, and tried to just play it across the field to him.
Wonder if he could have shot Kearney.
I think he should. I think he, again, a little bit like Nguiza in the 10-15 minutes ago. He's in a good area where he could have just tried to shoot the ball across the goalkeeper. Decided to look for the cross.
Here's Kearney out to the left-hand side, and Robinson. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0 the score here on Premier League Live. McBurney has it inside the centre circle. He's away from Geezer and finds Sander Berg down the right-hand side. 3 up in support here. 1 is Ollie McBurney. He's going to shoot McBurney, well blocked by Adebayo. A loose ball though breaks kindly for Ender Stevens. Stevens with a deep ball this time over the head of Brewster, nodded clear by the leaping Robinson. And then Geezer just casually chips it over the head of Lundstrom and finds Mitrovic on the edge of the Fulham penalty area.
He's had a really good game in midfield, Geezer, really has.
Yeah, didn't particularly cover himself in glory during Fulham's most recent spell in the Premier League, the Cameroonian, but I agree with Rufus. I think he's had an excellent game today. Here's Brewster trying to tee up Norwood. It's intercepted by Loftus-Cheek, who maybe is just starting to tire Ruben Loftus-Cheek, having not played too much football in recent months. Just crouching over and feeling his ankle, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Well, he's certainly not getting on the ball as much as he did
in the first half.
In the first half.
21 minutes to go. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. We're entering the phase of play now where you feel one goal for either side would probably settle it. Alexander Mitrovic missing a penalty in this second half, the big moment of the game so far. Here is Ademola Lookman running at Sander Berg just inside the Sheffield United half. Loftus-Cheek guides it out to the right hand side, and there's a chance here to get a cross into the penalty area. It's headed away though by Egan, and then the clearance is completed by Robinson down that left hand side. Lundstrom just taps it forward for McBurney. He's got it back, John Lundstrom. I think Sheffield United have found it harder to get in behind the Fulham defence than vice versa. Here is Basham. Just lack of tempo about their play at times. Here is Sander Berg down the line looking for Basham, who tries to roll it forward, but it's cleared by the side foot of Anthony Robinson. Sheffield United have to settle for a throw at the end of what looked at one stage to be a promising attack. It will be George Baldock who takes it. Wants it back from Sander Berg, but not for the first time. His pass was heavy from the Norwegian, and it's going to be a throw in now for Fulham. Sander Berg was Sheffield United's record signing before the arrival of Brewster. In fact, since they were promoted to the Premier League at the start of last season, they've smashed their transfer record on half a dozen occasions. So Chris Wilder has certainly been backed by the owners from Saudi Arabia. Here's Mitrovic into the centre circle, hoisted clear by Stevens, and then an aerial clash between Ongiza and Ryan Brewster, and the referee Andre Mariner has to stop play here.
Yeah, both of them jumping, and Grease are jumping for the ball there. Looks like Ryan Brewster's come off worse. A class of heads.
Looks a painful one for Ryan Brewster. Welcome to Bramall Lane.
Fulham there, just having a few drinks. You've got Scott Parker having a little word with a few of them. Obviously telling Mitrovic not to worry about the miss, to keep going. But it's been a better performance from Fulham, especially defensively.
Physio just checking that Ryan Brewster is going to be okay to continue. Chris Wilder, having already lost Max Lowe to a head injury in the first half, looks like this one is less serious. Brewster just being urged off by the referee before he will come back on. And we have 18 minutes plus added time remaining. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Between these two sides, yet to get off the mark in terms of points. In a moment, it will be a point of peace, but still winless at the start of the season. Chris Wilder stands, hands in his pockets. I think it will be a better point, even despite the missed penalty for Fulham, than for Sheffield United.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fulham really looking to press on and get these 3 points. Would be a good point.
Here is Tim Ream with the blonde hair, the American. Twice relegated from the Premier League with Fulham, looking to avoid an unwanted hat-trick this season. Aina clips it forward right-footed. One in the air by Cavallero, and then a strong challenge to win it back from Egan. This is Sander Berg inside the centre circle for Sheffield United. Just not playing with the same fluidity and the same confidence Sheffield United they did last season. I guess that's what a losing run can do. Here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek in space, and he comes over halfway. He's got Mitrovic ahead of him. Ran into a bit of trouble, so checks back and into the feet of Ongiza. Here now again is the number 19, Ademola Lookman. Sheffield United well organised this time. Everybody bar McBurney's back behind the ball, and that forces Fulham back into their own half away to our right. We've had some fantastic games in the Premier League this season, and we've had Sheffield United against Fulham. Here is Loftus-Cheek. Let's hope the final 17 minutes will conjure up some drama.
Fulham just keeping possession of the ball now. Sheffield United just moving across and closing them down. Trying to close all the spaces.
And Ramsdale just had to shift his position there to deal with a back pass I'm not sure he wanted. Gets it clear, and McBurney wins a throw off Robinson right in front of the gilet wearing Chris Wilder. Big clubs to fill. He told me that himself, Aaron Ramsdale, when he made the move from Bournemouth. Of course, Dean Henderson, such an integral part of Sheffield United's success, not just last season, but in their promotion-winning campaign from the Championship as well. Doesn't lack in confidence.
No, and he is more than capable. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I really do.
I remember speaking to Wally Downs, the former Wimbledon manager, when Ramsdale was on loan there a couple of seasons ago, and he described him as an alpha male, a bit of a throwback as a footballer. Here is Ryan Brewster, challenged on the edge of the penalty area by Loftus-Cheek, who wins the ball, leaves a skid mark on the pitch as well, but they've got it back, Sheffield United. Here is Bulldog, crosses, Brewster tries to flick it on, but it's cleared away again by Ream this time, and Loftus-Cheek can lead the charge upfield, and he's played it out to the right hand side, and Cavallero Ivan Cavallera, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers man, gives it back to Olorena. Now Fulham will try and build from Ream once again. 15 minutes to play, 0-0 the score. Alexander Mitrovic blazing a second half penalty over the crossbar, the big moment in the game to this point. Here he is, Mitrovic. Hasn't seen much of the ball from open play. Here's Lookman into the feet of Loftus-Cheek, halfway inside Sheffield United territory. And Giza forward. Now Kearney, first time layoff to Olorena. They go all the way back to Adarabioyo. Again, Sheffield United have got good shape here as the cross comes in from Olorena, straight into the arms of Ramsdale, who slides on both knees and takes the ball cleanly in his gloves.
There's just no cutting edge for Fulham in the final third. They're keeping the ball really nicely, but then they get into the final third and crossing positions, and it's just not happened for them today.
And Mitrovic isn't a striker who creates his own scoring opportunities. He very much needs to be fed, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And he's certainly had no good service into him today.
Here he is just trying to hold the ball up under pressure from Egan. He's done that quite well. So too has Cavallero. And it's collected now by Anguissa inside the centre circle. Kearney coming forward towards the penalty area, plays it low along the ground to Ademola Lookman, who shifts from the left hand side onto the right and then back again. He's still got it, Lookman. Bit of luck on the way, but that's a great finish. Ademola Lookman, with his first Fulham goal in the Premier League, has given Scott Parker's side a crucial advantage here. It was a slaloming run. Not sure he had the ball under complete control, but when he got into a shooting position, my word, did he pick out the top corner. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 1.
Well, it's all about Lookman there. He picks the ball up about 20 yards out. He's gone in. Little bit of luck going into the box there. But as he's got into the box, it's just bounced nicely for him. He's just steadied himself onto his left side, and he's just rocketed it into the top corner across the goalkeeper, leaving the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. Fantastic finish.
It's a brilliant goal from Ademola Lookman. 23 on Tuesday, and an early birthday present for the player on loan from RB Leipzig. A bit of luck that he needed was the kind ricochet off Basham, but nothing fortuitous about the finish. He rifles it left-footed into the top corner and lets out a huge roar in celebration. And Sheffield United's woes at the start of the season look set to continue. Here is Kearney for Fulham. Chris Wilder's men behind once again. And you've got to say, over the balance of the 78 minutes, Fulham probably deserve it.
Oh, they certainly deserve it. They've, on the ball, they've kept the ball really well, played, got into some good positions.
Here's Lookman again, left corner of the penalty area. Comes in field for Anguissa. Kearney now. Fulham looking after the football, which is all they need to do for the final 12 minutes. Anguissa's cross, chance of a second. It was Mitrovic with a snapshot, well saved by Ramsdale. That would have put the game beyond doubt.
And Anguissa there getting to the byline, pulling it back, and it's a snapshot from Mitrovic. If it had gone either side of the goalkeeper, I think he scores, but he hits it straight at the goalkeeper, who stands up nice and strong and parries it away.
Yeah, really good reflexes from Aaron Ramsdale. His wait for a first clean sheet since his return to Bramall Lane continues, but he was powerless to keep out the effort from Lookman. I don't think Chris Wilder will be particularly enamoured with the way that the Sheffield United defence just allowed Ademola Lookman to dance beyond them and into that shooting position.
Well, there was three. I think there was three players around Lookman there, and he's got through all three of them. Yes, there was a little bit of luck from Basham, but the finish was brilliant.
Sheffield United now with a little over 10 minutes to save the game. Here is Anguissa coming forward. It looks like Fulham are the more likely to add to the scoring at the moment. Anguissa with a step over, trying to get some space for a shot on the edge of the area, intercepted by Sander Berg and then belted forward by Ramsdale, but out for a throw.
Fulham certainly aren't sitting back. They're looking for this second.
Mario Lemina, the Southampton loanee, is going to come on just to add a bit of steel in midfield. I mentioned Loftus-Cheek is tired in this second half. He's the player to be replaced.
Yeah, and he's not played much football, so it's a good substitution, that.
Mario Lemina was part of the Juventus side that reached the Champions League final a few seasons ago, but has lost his way a bit since arriving at Southampton. Was farmed out on loan to Galatasaray last season, the Gabonese international. He's got 9 minutes here to help Fulham to their first win of the season. Sheffield United have made a change as well, and it's Mr. Bramall Lane, Billy Sharp, who's come on to replace Chris Basham, so they're attacking change as far as Chris Wilder is concerned. That will be a change of system for sure, Rufus.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, Basham's gone off. They've obviously need another player up front.
It's going to be a flat back four, isn't it? With Robinson and Egan in the centre and Baldock and Ender Stevens as auxiliary fullbacks.
Yeah, and we've seen Sharp. He does work really hard, and again, given a chance, we know that he can score.
I think he's scored more goals since the turn of the century than any other English centre forward, Billy Sharp. He's won a free kick here, having been tugged to the ground by Tim Ream, and it's taken short by Norwood. 1-0 Fulham lead at Bramall Lane. There's a rugby tackle.
It's going to be a booking
from Cavallero on the left wing back Stevens, and there is the yellow card for Ivan Cavallero. I think he's had a good game, Andre Mariner.
Yeah, he has. He's been right on top of everything. And again there...
And that wouldn't have been out of place at Twickenham, would it?
That's a proper rugby tackle, that one, isn't it?
I don't know if the Portuguese are famed for their rugby union, but clearly Cavallero has been watching it somewhere. Here comes the free kick. Will be taken by Norwood from the left-hand side with 8 minutes remaining. The Fulham goalkeeper Areola bouncing like a jack-in-the-box on his goal line. Norwood with a delivery. Straight to Areola, who punches it down. Wants a free kick, not given. And then there's a nasty collision inside the penalty area, and there's a player from each team still down, but the referee has played advantage. Here's Mario Lemina with that streak of blonde hair running through his hair. Little drop of the shoulder, and Lemina rolls it across the area. It's going to be Kearney to shoot. Oh, good save, Ramsdale. Excellent save down low to his left.
Yeah, it was a good break again from Fulham. There were two players down in the area. The referee just said play on, and Lemina just plays it across the box. And what is he, 20 yards out? He tries to give him the eyes, hooks it to the near post, and it was a good save from Ramsdale.
I think this has been a really good away performance from Fulham. They've had their critics at the start of the season, but they've come here to Bramall Lane in a match racked with nerves, no doubt, because of the two teams' precarious position at the foot of the table, and they've really acquitted themselves superbly.
I think they've played with a lot of confidence as well.
There's a VAR check here for a potential penalty. Mitrovic against Jack Robinson. Well, the right foot was high, and I think he's caught Robinson. I mean, this is not dissimilar to the one that wasn't given in the Manchester City-Arsenal game yesterday, when most people felt it should have been a spot kick.
I think if he catches him, it's a penalty.
Well, the referee's come over to the monitor, and that's a clear indication that Stockley Park have said you need to take a look at this. I think Sheffield United are going to get a penalty here.
Definitely. He misses the ball. He hits the bottom of his ankle. It's a penalty.
And the referee says penalty. VAR drama right at the end of the game here. 6 minutes remaining in this relegation six-pointer. And Alexander Mitrovic, having missed a penalty at one end, has conceded one clumsily at the other.
Yeah, and I think the goalkeeper should have caught it, to be fair. He should have caught it. He drops it. It drops down.
I'm just watching another replay, and I'm not entirely convinced. He had eyes on the ball, Mitrovic. I think both players were high in the tackle. For the benefit of the doubt has gone Sheffield United's way, and this is a big moment for Billy Sharp.
Just come onto the pitch as well, Billy Sharp.
We've seen one penalty missed already. Billy Sharp takes a big intake of breath. The goalkeeper Areola dancing on the line. Sharp right-footed into the roof of the net, and Sheffield United hit back. with 5 minutes remaining. And it's Mr. Sheffield United, Billy Sharp, who makes it Sheffield United 1, Fulham 1.
What a good penalty that was. He's looked and he's just smashed it as hard as he can. The goalkeeper dives the wrong way, and he's literally gone down the centre of the goal. Waits for the goalkeeper to move, smashes it down the centre. 1-1.
Well, the tale of 2 penalties, one missed by Fulham, one converted by Billy Sharp, and well, what a finale we're in for now.
It's certainly game on, and Fulham were looking like they were looking to get the second goal, the way that they were going forward, but it's Sheffield United that have got the equaliser through a penalty.
Where's your money now, Rufus? Because they looked relatively in control, Fulham, until that penalty call. They did
look in control, and it's just about, keeping your nerve now. They certainly don't want to go and lose the game now, Fulham.
Here's Ola Reina. Oh, he's given away by Lamina. Straight to Sander Berg, who sprints away from Lookman and rolls it forward to Sharp here. Billy Sharp in the right wing position, just trying to hold it up and wait for support, which comes now in the form of Buildup. Buildup up against Robinson, down by the right corner flag. He's done well there, Robinson, but then he's surely pushed him in the back. I think you heard exactly what Buildup thought about it, and it's, in the end, his cross that's swept clear by Ream. Sheffield United, from 1-0 down, look the stronger team all of a sudden.
They do. There's a little bit of confidence now. They're getting the ball forward, getting it into the good positions. A little bit of spring in the step now, Sheffield United.
Are you surprised that Rhian Brewster on debut didn't fancy that penalty?
I am. I mean, Billy Sharp, he is, as you say, he is Mr. Sheffield United, isn't he? And he would have said, I'm taking this. I think if Ruin wanted it, I don't think he would have got it anyway, to be fair.
3 minutes remaining. A difficult second half for Alexander Mitrovic in both penalty areas. Here is Ongiza, though, who's really put in a shift to the heart of that Fulham midfield. We've mentioned it a couple of times already. He's given away. Here's Ollie McBurney. Those tiny shimpats. Norwood forward to Sander Berg, who turns into space inside the centre circle and rolls it out to the right hand side. Baldock, a willing runner. He's got Ademola Lookman for company, putting a defensive shift in there. Lookman, but Baldock still has the ball. In the end, he showed too much of it. Lookman, who gets it clear, bounces off Norwood, but they've won it back. Sheffield United, and Fulham all of a sudden are sitting deep and inviting pressure. Here's Sander Berg, low cross, oh, chance for 2-1, brilliant save from the goalkeeper, but Billy Sharp will be thankful for the offside flag, because he really should have scored.
Well, he should have scored, and again he's looked up, he hit the ground the minute the goalkeeper made the save, but he is offside, and I'm sure he'll be happy to see the flag go up, because he should have scored.
Alexander Mitrovic, by the way, the first player to both miss a penalty and then give one away in the same Premier League game since Mikel Arteta for Arsenal against Fulham back in 2012.
That's an interesting stat, that is.
Not one that Mitrovic will be particularly proud of. Here is Tim Ream. We're into the last 90 seconds of normal time. Fulham have the ball over on the right hand side with Cavallero. Ongiza linking up neatly with Cavallero, but he showed too much of that to Robinson, and Robinson clears it away left-footed. He's back now with Oliver Norwood. Suddenly Sheffield United are more composed of the two teams. Lundstrom with a long arrowing ball, looking for Sharp, and Tim Ream lost sight of it in the air, goes to ground, but Sharp can't quite make the most of it.
Oh, both teams going for the win here, both going forward. As Fulham are here with Lookman.
Lookman into Ongiza. Well inside the Sheffield United half. We're well inside the last minute of the 90 as well now. 1-1 the score. Are we going to get one last late sting in the tail? Kearney, the Fulham captain, sprays a neat ball out to Robinson on the left-hand side. He's got the better of Bulldog. Chance here for Lookman. Shoots left-footed. It's deflected behind. It will be a corner.
Caught it really well there, Lookman. Just got it back onto his left side.
I think he's had a good game, Ademola Lookman.
He has. Every time he's got the ball, he's always looking to make something happen. As he is there, just outside the box, 18 yards out. Catches it really well. And it came off the Sheffield United defender for a corner.
They haven't always been the most solid this afternoon, Sheffield United, defending these set pieces. 5 added minutes at the end of the game as the corner is played in towards Mitrovic. He's going to volley it right-footed along the 6-yard line. It's cleared as far as Kearney. Here's Lookman again, trying to wriggle into some space on the edge of the area. Back he goes for Kearney. Kearney onto his left foot, stands up the cross. Oh, it was taken off the head of Mitrovic, I think, by Advertisements.
It was. I think if he lets it go, Mitrovic is on his own at the far stick. I don't know whether he gave him a shout.
McBurney has his pocket pick, but it's won back by Ender Stevens. Just brushes off on Geezer, who goes down, but again, like Lookman in the first half, gets up and realises Fulham are in possession with Tim Ream. I think there's going to be one last big chance in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a big 5 minutes for both teams.
Here is Robinson, almost playing as a left winger now for Fulham as they press for a late winner. 1-1 the score, cleared away by Bulldog. Lookman still working tirelessly, wins it back and finds Mario Lamina. Hurdles a couple of challenges. Lamina to the edge of the area, shoots right-footed, it deflects and loops over the bar and behind for a corner.
Good play from Lamina there. He's gone past probably two or three players there, jinking past them. But it was good defending again from Sheffield United. I think it was Robinson that just came flying out to block the shot. And it's another corner for Fulham.
Ivan Caballero will take it on his 27th birthday. Can he gift wrap a late winner for Fulham? Headed away by McBurney. And then Bulldog completes the clearance, but he's back with Ademola Lookman. Still buzzing around. Crosses into the air and a free header wide from Mitrovic. What a chance to win the game.
He knows he should have done better there. And it's probably the first service that he's had really all game. And we're looking into the 92nd minute, and it's Lookman again who's been dangerous every time he gets the ball. Lookman looking to get forward, like I've said, and it was a good cross into the box, and it was right onto Mitrovic, and he just steered his header wide of the post.
Well, that's a huge chance for Mitrovic.
Massive chance.
In stoppage time at the end of the match. How costly will that prove to be? Not just today, but maybe come May as well. He screamed to the heavens in frustration. It's been that kind of afternoon for Alexander Mitrovic.
A very frustrating afternoon for him, and he knows that he should have done better with that.
That might just be the last chance.
Well, like you said, you said that there's going to be one more big chance, and that was probably it.
Don't forget, after we're finished here, live commentary of Crystal Palace against Brighton to come from Selhurst Park. Andrew Self and Paul Mortimer primed and ready for that one. This has turned out to be a decent contest in the end after a bit of a slow burner in the first half. Here is Anthony Robinson down the left-hand side. The momentum has swung in Fulham's favour again, you feel. Here's Kearney. Crossing. Mitrovic, another header, wide again. I mean, in fairness, that one, he had to generate the power himself and just couldn't quite hit the target.
Yeah, well, as the ball came over, I think he had two Sheffield United players round him, so it was more difficult. He got up above both of them, but again, his header was down. Headed it down, but just wide of the post.
75 seconds remain. Chris Wilder bellowing out from the touchline. I'm not sure which manager is going to be more pleased with a point. Wilder having come from behind, or Scott Parker having shown a much improved defensive display away from home. Here's Rhian Brewster. Not seen too much of him since he came on, and he's dispossessed there by Adebayo. And he clears it upfield towards the halfway line. Kearney wins it back for Fulham, and here's Caballero quickly squeezing the pass forward for Ongiza, who turns away from Sander Berg. This will be the last chance of stoppage time. Kearney checks back towards halfway, but then switches it out to the left-hand side of Mario Lamina. This is Robinson forward. Lookman linking up with Robinson. He's away from Bulldog. Can he pick out a teammate in yellow? No, the cross is headed clear by Norwood. Still Fulham on the attack though. Lamina towards Mitrovic at the far post. Sheffield United squeeze it clear, and then McBurney just chips it forward. Adebayo stepping in. Still 10 seconds to go at the end of the 90. The end of stoppage time. Robinson just about keeps it in play down by the corner flag. It's cleared away, and there goes the full-time whistle. Well, the tale of two penalties, really. One missed by Alexander Mitrovic, one conceded by the big Serbian at the other end. That gifted Billy Sharp the equaliser after Ademola Lookman thought he won it for Fulham. Honours even, a first point of the campaign for both these sides. But Sheffield United's wait for a first win goes on. Sheffield United 1, Fulham 1.